You are listening now to the Spirituality Now podcast, the show that is solely focused on practical spirituality, leadership, and mindset skills with the aim and purpose of supporting you master your life. Welcome to the Spirituality Now podcast. Welcome to the Spirituality Now podcast. I am your host, Ivonne Delaflor, and today we're adapting. And guess what? I'm adapting, and my microphones are nowhere to be found. They say you need to be ready and prepared for anything. Well, I learned my lesson, but we're adapting, and today we have a podcast with a venerable Lama. He's going to introduce himself because I want to pronounce your name correctly.
Yes.
So tell me your full name.
Lama Tashi Norbu.
Tashi Norbu. Oh, I did it well.
Yes.
Lama Tashi Norbu. And he is honoring us being here. He's in Las Vegas. He came for the World Peace Awards. Yes? Yes. And we're going to talk to him, but I don't know what you want to do first, Lama.
I would like to talk simply for a few readings and meeting with you and say hello to everyone. And then we can have a tea.
Yes. This is a different podcast.
I'll do a prayer for the tea.
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah?
Prayer for the tea, everyone.
Yeah, it's a tea house. It's like a very big thing. I came all the way.
I know.
I thought it's your...
I know, or in the tea ceremony table.
Tea ceremony, but
Yes.
that's okay.
Okay.
Do a prayer for the tea. We'll hold it like that. You want to hold it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Lada lame cheme ge shabge pema ladama pumba kula donzema drama yamla chubab kunjo sumge shela chubab kunjo sumbo yeno chubada kunjo sumge chilab jubara sho. So the prayer says, may this tea be the nectar to satisfy my thirst and to have inner calm and inner strength. And then I can work for all living beings, all sentient beings. So that kind of prayers we do when we eat, when we drink, that way this food and drinks become nectar so that you can regain your power and then work for all sentient beings.
Wow.
That's the prayer for your tea house.
Thank you. This is, you're always in an apprentice mode. Thank you for the blessing. And those of you who are listening on Spotify or iTunes or iHeartRadio, please watch us on YouTube so you can see the living blessing that the Lama just gave us. This is so good for the summer.
Yes, it is.
So good for the summer. So while we're adapting, and this is such a blessing to have the Lama here with us. So you are here in Vegas because there was an event.
Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about it?
I have to look at this name of this award 1 minute.
Yes. In the meantime, I'm going to be drinking tea. By the way, everyone, we're drinking tea. We're pre-tea ceremony, but right now the ceremony started. That was a lesson for me that you got to bless every moment, every single thing. Everything, your practice can become nectar. And after this, we're going to go to my tea ceremony table, and I have very specific teas. But right now, we're drinking bitter melon, which is very good for the summer, very good for kidneys, organs, and it's just, even though it's a hot tea, it's pretty refreshing for these times with the heat of Las Vegas, the desert.
Yes, so I got a Himalayan Peace Award in Las Vegas.
He got the Himalayan Peace Award.
And then the City of Las Vegas, Office of Councilwoman Victoria Seaman, Certificate of Recognition. So this is from the town hall. So we had a...
Wow, we won that picture. They're dressed so nicely. Beautiful. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Lama.
It was people from Cambodia, Vietnam, and different parts of people came. Actually, people came from so far. I was surprised they came for that. I was just in New York.
You were in New York, and you live in Holland. You were telling
Yes. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I also dedicated this tour from Holland. So I was in Holland. I have a Tibetan art museum in the Netherlands, which is the only Tibetan art museum in the world outside Tibet, which is registered. So we have a large space. I was very lucky to find that. So 900 square meter, and we have artworks of other Tibetan artists from Tibet, and we have a temple inside.
Wow.
So it's I go back in Holland, that's like Europe, and then I do also America. So now my tour starts here.
Oh,
Yes.
and you're stopping by to teach me how to pray for the tea house. And
Karma.
I start karma. Right now I'm focused on Latin America. We're gonna do a book club. Well, not book club, a reading circle of Zen.
Mhm.
But that's karma too for me, because I was in China at the Bodhidharma cave, behind the Shaolin temple. And when I went to the cave, I heard you have to support Zen, and it's been really challenging for me.
Oh yeah.
And now we're going to do a reading circle for Latin America in Spanish of Zen. And I feel it's karma, but this is good karma, Lama.
Yeah, it's a very good karma of very sacred karma, good actions. We call it dharma actions,
Oh.
So you have dharma is like your motivations to work in this life. So every actions can be taken for the benefit of all sentient beings. So that way, yeah. Actually, I was in Tulum in Mexico.
I'm from there. Well, I'm from Mexico City, but I lived also part-time in Cancun.
Oh.
Yes.
I built there's a art for me park. It's become very popular park. Actually, there was one artist made a big sculpture of a woman, open heart, and they made it for the hotel entrance. It's in the Tulum, all those resorts,
Yes.
Quite a spectacular actually. And then that artwork became very popular. Everybody, and then it blocks the whole road. So they had to make a park in the compound of the hotel area, so beside the road. And then I was there, like it became such a people line up to go inside. And then they asked me to come and build my Buddha there. So I was very proud to be there and have my Buddha like I don't know, I think it's like 17 feet or something.
You did that Buddha?
I make out of waste wood, recycled materials in the world.
Wow.
So I travel around to do that.
What a beautiful...
So it's to bring the awareness of climate change, global warming, and deforestation, like the Amazon, those crises of palm oil crisis during those times, and also in Tibet, my country, is very large, like 6,000 kilometers. So that's almost like 5 to 6 times France, So we have it plays the third zone of pure water for the mankind, because Tibet is the biggest plateau in the world, and it gives the water to the India and China. So that means we're feeding like 2 billion people water. So, but Tibet is melting because of the global warming. So Tibetan plateaus are like already the landslide is happening. So all that I express through my art and Buddhist teachings, how to practice compassion, and people can start reading about Buddhist concepts. It's very philosophical level. It's not a religion,
I love that. You know what, Lama? I have a Shifu that I practice Tai Chi and my son Kung Fu. And he always says people think that Buddhism is a religion, but it's an education system, an education of the mind, education for wisdom, for developing virtues and compassion.
Yes.
And I love that you're doing that. I'm so impressed. You know, when you said that Tibet feeds, I didn't know.
Yes.
Water to China and India.
It's called third pole, yeah.
Yes, wow. Well, that I felt it. I felt it.
Third biggest glacier in the world.
Yes, yes, wow. Well, you know, is there any way that we can support like that, like to bring the awareness besides the podcast? Any links, anything?
Yeah, I have my plan is now to travel in America,
Yes.
and then I will put a art space and a temple where these projects. So we can always keep in touch.
Yes,
and support.
We will support. We will support, however, because this is you, as you know, this is not. This was not planned. This is karma, as you said, a good karma, and I feel responsible with karma every time. And I wanted to ask you something, Lama. That moved me so much. You know, when you said it feeds water to China and India,
yes,
it also feels water of spiritual water.
Yes.
How powerful that is, and it moved me. It just moved me so deeply. So, Lama, may I ask you, how old are you? You look so young.
My age is, I don't know my age actually.
Oh, good.
Because we were born in the Himalayas.
Oh, so, you were born in the Himalayas.
So even my brothers, we don't have a birth certificate. But my brother has kids, now they're born, then they are registered. But
yes.
But in our case, we don't have that. So I have a problem whenever I have to do my passport.
I want to go to the Himalayas. I don't want to have an age. Don't ask me about my age, anyone.
I'm somewhere, I think, between 40 to 50, I guess.
I love that. I'm between 20 and 50. You can choose, guys. I'm between 20 and 50. Lama, it's such an honor. My heart is so happy to have you here because I feel like home. And then, Lama, so you were born in the Himalayas, you were raised Buddhist, correct?
Yes, yes.
And how does one become a Lama, or are you?
Oh yeah.
How did that happen?
So Lama means monks are the one who are studying, but I can also call myself as a monk. But Lama is something. At some point, you start leading and teaching others. You know? Then Lama means a guru, simply a guru in Hindi. So in Tibetan word, it's a teacher. So in my case, Buddhist teacher. Yeah.
Like Shifu.
Yes.
Well, it's like Lama is like when they give the Zen teacher something called the Inca, the title, the Inca.
Yes.
Which, you know, I just met a teacher that has it that is very karmic like you.
Yes. I'm just going to switch it off.
Yes, please. So everyone, you know, this is an impromptu podcast, and it's so beautiful. We all get to have the blessing of Lama here, and to drink tea, and to have the awareness of the melting of the glaciers in Tibet.
Yes.
You know, because I don't see much news on that.
No, nowadays. Also, I also try not to politicize my travel because of the nowadays. I mean, a lot of Chinese Buddhists. We have like over 500 million Chinese are Buddhists. Yeah. So that makes the biggest population of Buddhists. So I have friends when I travel, like Shanghai and Hong Kong, Macau, like that. So they're mostly Chinese who are, you know, we are very good ones. You know, they also buy my paintings and all. So, but in a way, politically, you know, like Tibet is under China, you know. So we suffer. We don't have human rights, you know, in Tibet. So that's why Dalai Lama is now 88 years old now. So he's getting very old, and whenever I talk about it, I get a bit more emotional, you know. So
I'm getting emotional too. We're getting emotional here. This is because this pertains to all of humanity.
Yeah. It's like I can like you can never go to Mexico, like something like that. That's what
I'm so sorry. You know, I feel sorry for anyone that can right now with the war, the Gaza, Palestina, Israel, Congo, everything that is happening, Venezuela and everything. I think we need more compassion than ever before, and we need to believe, to have faith, because people sometimes drop their faith because the dark or what we call evil is so strong. I mean, what happened to Tibet is terrible. You know, I don't want anybody ever to experience that. What's happening in Venezuela, the genocide that are happening all over the world, and we cannot do a blind eye to that.
Yes, also Dalai Lama also said we have to work on a basis of middle way approach so that we can cooperate with the Chinese people, for instance, if the public changes their mind, then the government changes. You know?
Wow.
So we try to approach the Chinese people, and even His Holiness Dalai Lama gives mass teachings through computers like Skype, and also we have loads of Taiwanese coming over to Dharamsala, buses and buses reserved coming over. So it's a there's always a hope. And the karma is also like that, you know. So maybe we can talk about karma.
Well, let's talk about karma. I don't know about that because I've been feeling it, you know. I met this teacher of Zen, and I really want to go training with him, and that's when I broke my ankle. I cannot go see him, but I'm doing whatever I can. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, my karma. But let's talk about karma with everyone right now for them to understand it.
So, like, for example, if I can shift this topic about Tibet as a karma, I think Tibetan karma actually means action, basically. It's a Hindi word, Sanskrit word.
Yes.
Karma is a Sanskrit word, and then R is there. In Hindi, R is removed, and then it's called kam. Kam means just simply work. So your action, your work has to be perfect, like what would Buddha work, you know, like that. And if Buddha would work, he would work only very positive, you know, and that leads to a positive result. So your action is like a dharmic action, very spiritual and perfect, like the Buddha would do. So Tibet, we have preserved the Tibetan Buddhism for over centuries, and then we didn't take care of how the world is moving on, you know. So we were a bit too behind that. So that's like missing some technically. So we didn't take care of that part. So that's our result. You know? So we lost our country when Tibet was very isolated. Even though British came to Tibet, you know, like over a year, they ruled Tibet in the 1930s, and then Tibetans didn't get it. They still felt they are protected by the mountains. And then we lost our country, and then that's the result. Result is like we lost everything at the end. You know, when the world was with weapons and everything, we didn't have it. We were still very much involved with the spiritual, and we believed that. And then that's a karma, you see. And then Tibetans who are suffering, I see it like people. We have to learn from this, you know. And then the result is like also the Buddhism was spread around the world, you know. So that's a good karma. So the world has received the Buddhist teachings.
Yes, but Lama, it doesn't matter. Like I understand all the Buddhist principles of karma and the wheel of Dharma and all of that, but it still doesn't feel like we are in a stage where all of that could be dropped, right? Where Tibet could be free.
Yes.
Where we could be led by, I heard the Roshi of a Korinji monastery, Meidamore, he said, I would love to see an army of meditators, of people that do peace instead of war, you know.
Yes.
And I interviewed someone whose daughter and father were killed by terrorism in India. She saw it on the news. They were brutally killed. Yeah. And she said, peace is profitable. It's just people don't know yet how to do a good business with it that supports everyone. Well, Lama, I pray that Tibet is free. It's really touching my heart.
I'm so happy and surprised that this topic came, that you appreciate and care for my 100%. Culture. Yeah, I also always think like the world has benefited, all the Buddhist centers in the world has benefited a lot from the Tibetan Buddhism. And now it's also, it's a turn we can return by thinking about Tibet itself, like how the Buddhism was preserved by the Tibetans, lay people, normal Tibetans have protected the Tibetan Buddhist monks and nuns, and it's time to help the Tibet, where it came from, the Buddhism, where the nest of that culture. We should help to return it. So,
Lama, I have to say something in my heart. You know, something that I've been noticing is with all the things happening in the world, somewhere in our mind, we make it okay, the terrible things that are happening. We say, oh, you know, it's war. Oh, you know, it's the darkness. But I feel that this is a call to action, a karmic call for us to say, no, this is not okay. You know, killing is not okay. Things could be avoided. I just heard that polio spreads in Gaza, and there's a very big genocide, and in all over the world, this can be avoided. There's something in me, the rebel in me says, no, we can break through that. And I'm not sure how many thousands of years or lifetimes, but I think it's a worthy pursuit to continue to strive for that.
yes. I will do a little prayer for all living beings and Gaza, people of Gaza,
and Tibet,
and
Venezuela,
and Ukraine, Venezuela,
and Israel.
Yeah,
everyone.
For everyone.
It's how we're going to close the podcast, everyone. This has been such a blessing. Please share it with everyone. These are not prepared. We are philanthropic based. We don't sell anything. We're going to put the link of the Lama, of his art, because you support him. It supports Tibet. So please be a supportive force with us. A good, what they call bodhisattva.
Let's sing together. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Keke Chanda Lakelo. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Yevande Nyurdoda Jere Sevan Rubyone Goa Chigamaleba De Salam Gubraisho Om Guru Pemasito, Om Guru Pemasito. May all sentient beings be free from suffering. May all sentient beings stay in the happiness and meet with the source of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from discriminations and all the fears, and attain and meet with be born in the pure realms of happiness. And I offer this mala to you from
Lama.
it's from the blessed by Dalai Lama.
Thank you.
It's a mala. I greet. We'll touch the forehead. It's a Tibetan greeting. I greet the goddess in you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
And for everyone, prayers for the viewers, for all of you. May you all be happy and no sickness, and wishing you long life. In these prayers, there are mantras of a long life and good health and good spirits.
Thank you, Lama.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone. That's all. That's all. Namaste.
We hope you enjoyed this new episode, and if you did, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere where you prefer to listen to your podcast. Make sure to check the links to everything we mentioned in this episode. For more news, future or past episodes, or for any other inquiry, please visit our website at delaflorteachings.com. Once again, thank you for listening to the Spirituality Now podcast.